All right, welcome back, everyone. Working on a 2015 Teryx 4 800. It's a 783cc Kawasaki V-twin. We got a bad bevel gear. Got multiple other videos doing this teardown. In order to get to the bevel gear, which is actually part of the transmission, you have to split the case, meaning you pretty much have to disassemble the entire engine. Last video was taking the cylinder heads and the jugs off, and on this video we're actually trying to split the case. I've already done some of the work. As you can see, you split the engine block right down the center. You can see there's a gap right now all along that. You have your clutch side of the motor here, and along this side, timing chain side and whatnot. Got a whole lot of bolts holding this thing together, so I'm just going to kind of go over some of them before I start attempting to actually continue splitting the case in half. So you have a lot of bolts. Several of them have an 8mm head like that, and quite a few have a 10mm. They're inside, on the inside of the motor and on the outside, all over the place. Like these are some 10mm head bolts here. You go down underneath the bottom there, you can see there's some smaller bolts. Underneath this shift linkage cover, there's 5 bolts you would remove all along the perimeter. There's one single bolt that was holding me up. It is on the inside. I take that off, remove the bolt, which is another 8mm, and I went on and put the shift linkage and cover back in place, hopefully lining it up properly. And on the inside here, you have multiple areas. There's a bolt hole there, couple on the outside over there. Most of them are on the timing chain cover side and along the bottom like I showed you earlier. And then you have 3 of them on the clutch side of the engine. So you got one here on the outside, and one on the inside, which will be right there. So again, clutch side, you've got 3 bolts holding the case. One's on the inside of the motor, meaning in here. 2 are on the outside. And whenever you start on doing this side, you got a whole bunch on the inside and out. Primarily on the outside though. Primarily most of your bolts are right in this region here, going along the bottom here. And once I was pretty sure I got them all out, I started tapping with a rubber mallet against this. There's another area you can try to pry with like a screwdriver gently. Don't break the tabs off. All this is aluminum. There's a couple other areas, but as you can see, I do have it split. So what I'm gonna hope is I'm gonna start working on, we'll set the phone up, start videoing. I'm gonna go ahead and try to continue splitting it. I'm hoping this side of the engine, this side of the engine block will actually go past this shaft and we can get a clean split. I don't have anything to mess with. If not, I may have to pull this nut off here and remove the wet clutch, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't been this far into one of these. If I do stop the video, we'll do a part 2 of this section. I ain't even gonna lie, this is scary doing this. Not wanting to mess anything up, that's for damn sure. It's wanting to come apart better on the actual front of the motor, which will be here. You don't want to beat too hard doing that because you could tear up the mounting surfaces of the two engine halves, cause a leak. Also, when you're messing with the motor like this, the pistons are just kind of free hanging here. They're attached to the crank, but you don't want to scratch them up, scratch the side of the piston skirt up, because it's just rubbing against raw aluminum. Got a bolt right here, give you a perspective of where it's at. This one that right next to the one holding the sensor right there. It's kind of holding me up, and that's probably why I do have it loose. I forgot to remove it all the way. That's probably what's holding the side down. So I'm going to pause this. I'm going to regroup. I'm going to start a second video. Check out part 2, splitting the engine case.